Good morning and welcome to Siasa. This is a show where we discuss matters, leadership and politics, and we like to focus on issues that are of concern to the youth of Kenya. I'm your host. My name is Miriam Wende. I'm the editor-in-chief here at Pulse. And today our topic is the MP seat for the party or for the people? And I have with me two aspirants who are hoping to join the 13th Parliament come August 9th, and I'll allow them to introduce themselves. We can start with the gentleman.
Yes, I thought it was ladies first. My name is Benedict Washira. I am an aspirant for the Member of Parliament position in Embakasi North constituency. Professionally, I am a mathematician and I'm also a lawyer, and I'm also the Secretary General of the Communist Party of Kenya. And I'm vying for the ticket under the Communist Party of Kenya party ticket.
Very interesting party name. I hope we'll get into that.
Good.
Yes, the lady.
Okay, thank you. Dorcas Mugereri, also vying for Embakasi North Member of Parliament. Actually, it's Member of National Assembly seat. The general elections. By profession, I am a junk of many trades. So I'm a part-time lecturer at Jomo Kenyatta University, CEO at Code Pamoja Institute of Professional Studies, and I also couple up as a politician. So that is a brief summary of what I am.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
We are so happy that you've joined us today. And viewers, I'd like to invite you at this juncture. Please place your comment, place a question in our comment section on Facebook, on YouTube. We'll be coming back to all these comments as we go on with our show. And as we start this morning, we have a clip where we went out in the field. We went to Kasarani and we went to Ruai, and we collected a few views from all of you who watch us, the fans of Pulse Kenya. And our question was, will you vote back your current MP? Let's go to those clips.
Of late watu wamekuwa kituchanganya. You don't know who is going to be a good MP. Yeah.
Kwa hivyo na ule mwenye ako sasa unamjua?
Yeah, anaitwa Kamango. But sahi vile tunaanza mambo ya election, tunataka kumtoa tupatie mtu mwingine chance. Yeah.
Kuna sababu mbona mnataka kupatia mtu mwingine chance?
Kwa sababu all the time these people, they can promise you anything but they don't deliver something. You see? Na wengi wanapenda kuchezea watu because of wanajua tukimchagua ni dotu atatupatia, lakini ile kitu ameahidi wa Kenya haionekani. Miradi zao kwanza ni fake.
Thank you very, very much for that. As you've heard, there are some people who are saying we have never seen what the MP has done for us, so we are not voting them back. And the others who are saying we are yet to decide whether we are voting our MP back. And to the panel, as before you went out and declared your candidature, did you speak to the people on the ground? Did you find out what is happening there? How was that process before you actually decided that you're going to vie? Can start with Dorcas.
Okay, nitaongea na lugha ya mtaa.
Karibu sana.
Ndio at least tuweze ku-relate na audience vizuri. So constituency yenye mimi navae ni mahali naishi. Hapo ndo mahali nimelelewa. So we have been having some discussions na watu kujaribu kuona some of these things that ail us as a community. Unapata gava inasema kuna free primary education, but saa hii mtaani watu wengi sana hawako shule. Unaona? Including watu wa class 1, unaona? So kuna kwanga na hii fee na kwanga imewekwa in terms of feeding program. Na our zone now being place yenye iko poverty stricken kiasi, unapata watu hawawezi afford hata hiyo pesa ya feeding program.
Okay.
Unapata mavijana wengi wako mtaani. Saidi kwa sababu wanataka ama nini, but hakuna opportunities. Hata mtu akijaribu kuweka biza aje, inafika mahali kanjo anakuhanda, mara tax zinakuwa vitu zenye hauwezi manage. So at the end of the day, vijana wengi wanaka idle. Na an idle mind, we all know most likely to happen so utapata wanajiindulge kwa vitu za drugs, crime, na tumelose watu wengi sana. So from my own perspective, some of these things ni vitu zenye zinaweza kuwa addressed kukiwa na kiongozi yako na a good political will ya watu wake. Si kiongozi mwenye anakaa kujishughulikia yeye. Utakuja ujue hapa mavijana at least hata kama ni mradi ndogo ndogo tunaweza zinua hivi such that unawape option ile ya acha nini na hii crime. Jaribini kuhustle hapa tukijaribu cause si kitu itakam once kila mtu aomoke ama ni nini. But at least hiyo kungangana pole anzeni na hii mradi. Fanyeni hivi. Kama ni kina wamadha wengi mtaani wanafanya mambo na beadwork. Tujaribu kuona kama ni market hizo products zao. Juu unapata madha atashona beads. Mwenye anakuja kununua kutoka kwao ni broker. Anunue bead moja kitu kaa 20 bob. So ndio make so kwa siku unashona beads ngapi? 5. Bead moja inakuchukua around 1 hour kujenga. So unaona at the end of the day vitu kaa hizi ni zile zenye kukiwa na kiongozi mwenye at least ana mind watu wake. It's now even easier uwa expose kwa market. Sahi nowadays with hii mambo ya digital marketing and all that, una create hata kama ni a public baraza ama ni nini, una educate wase. Mnaweza instead of kupitia through brokers, mnaweza market products zenyu hivi, at least sasa mwache kupata ile mapato kidogo. Kama ni maneno na shule, si kazi ya kwa MP not all about ati kujenga shule. Ona kama unaweka structures hapo, kampuni yako ndio imejenga, familia yako ndio ina benefit hapo. At the end of the day watoto wagani wanakama hapo. Unaona? So for me it is a community yenye nimezaliwa. Actually hata bado niko huko. My parents live there. Tuko hapo. So hizi ni challenges zenye sikuambiwa. Ni kitu pia mimi napitia.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dorcas. And Mr. Wachira, you give us your point. Would you please paint a picture of what Embakasi North is? Which words are there? Which mtagani tunaweza recognize ziko Embakasi North?
Yes. So principally, let me start with that one. Principally Embakasi North ni Dandora, Kariobangi North. Then kuna uko chini Gitare Marigo na kuna kapisi kadogo ka Korokocha, very small piece kabla ufike kwa daraja pale. So principally hizo mitaa mbili, right? Population yake ni over 300,000. So it's a small area but is highly populated. Now, concerning your question, 5 wards, it has 5 wards. 4 in Dandora, then Kariobangi North comes as its own ward, right? Now, did I ask these voters whether they wanted to change the constitution and all that? Yes, I did. And this is the second time I'm vying. I vied also in 2017.
For the same seat? For
the same seat. And in 2017, there were 8 candidates. I only campaigned for 2 months. Nilianza campaign June, July. And I was third. At that time when I was engaging with the citizens, vijana, kina mama, everybody else, people were tired with the MP that they had elected, right? But 2017 kulikuwa na tuseme kasumba ya vyama, hii mambo ya wave, hii mambo ya 6 piece na mambo kama hiyo. So he was lucky, he had the Jubilee ticket and that's how he was re-elected into it. Because if you look at the number of votes that he got and the ones that Uhuru Kenyatta got, more or less the same. So it was a question of 6 piece voting. But now, even when I was coming back in 2022, I asked the people and they told me, no, this time round, we are not voting for suits. We will look at which party we are voting for and which individual we are voting for. So things are changing now in 2022. And it's not just in Embakasi North, but across the whole country. So yes, we engage the citizens. Tuliona ni nini nafaa ibadilike because currently as we speak, the sitting MP ako na kesi ya corruption. They stole pesa ya barabara, in court. And from my sources, I understand that the judgment is coming out this month, at the end of this month. And as a lawyer, nikiangalia kesi yake atafungwa tu. And people are tired of this stealing of CDF funds, under representation in parliament. You go and look at the Hansard reports, you find that there are MPs who never speak, who never participate in the legislative process. And these are some of the things that we must change. From the interviews that you did there with the citizens, you'll find that there are those who are saying that they will not re-elect their current MP. Historically in Kenya, from the past 3 elections, 65 to 75% of the elected leaders go home.
Okay.
That is the statistics. So that means that the likelihood of a sitting MP today going home in 2022 is very high. And that's why we are here to offer the alternative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being so articulate. And viewers, as you can see, we have a very, very engaging panel. I'll go to the comments on our Facebook page. And Robin Munyao Jr. is saying, mimi kitu najuanga kila time tuna vote, tunasaka mtu atatutesa kidogo for the next 5 years. Hivyo ndio Robin Munyao Jr. is saying. And mwingine anasema Levi's Laban. Hey, Levi Z Laban anasema bado nangoja manifesto, so he's waiting to see what you will sell to him before he chooses. Join Azimio, the two of you. It is better to be in the working party. That's what Evans Obilo is saying. What's up? Me inquire. Okay. After every 5, Mbugwa Nyokabi is saying, after every 5 years, watu wenye wameishi kutu promise job, ndio wanatuomba job. So you can see that we don't really understand why we should education. We've heard that you care about the women and their businesses. We've heard all those things before. So what new thing is coming up? And my question to you, our panelists, is do you think that MPs and even politicians like you who aspire to be lawmakers have done enough to ensure that us as citizens understand how laws are made and how laws serve to improve our lives? Do you think enough has been done to educate the voter? We can start with that.
Now the thing is, first of all, the sentiments of have not performed the duties that they're supposed to do. So sometimes people lose hope. Ndio wanasema ati saa zingine tunataka kuchagua mtu atatesa kidogo nini and all that. But you cannot lose hope. In every society there reaches a point where change must come. You know, whether we like it or not. And it's the people who will participate in bringing this change. So in as much as you've been medanganywa na nini and all that, we must not lose hope. Secondly, in terms of the lawmaking process, there is a duty, a constitutional imperative, Article 10 and many other articles of the Constitution that say that we must have public participation, right, in the lawmaking process. So most or some of these MPs that we elect or are there today have not been engaging their constituents, their electorates, in some of the lawmaking processes that we've had. Even Parliament itself, very many cases, you know, have been lodged at the High Court, and many bills have been declared unconstitutional for the reason that they did not have public participation. So we must learn from the experiences or the mistakes of the current bunge and the past one, and also the judgments that are coming from the courts. And that's why I'm saying, as a lawyer, I've studied these things and I've seen where the loopholes are. And public participation will be key, you know, in my administration once I am elected. Of course, it is through the public participation. Wezi waambia ati sijui first reading, second reading, third reading, assentment, no. But they must know that one, I have a right to contribute to these processes. Two, the MP or the elected leaders have a duty to bring them to a platform where they can participate in these laws. And also they must have effective public participation. They must know what is it, how will this thing affect me or the other person. So once you do that and you collect all these views, then their views can now be condensed into a bill and eventually an act of parliament. So it is the duty of the MPs, and they've been failing. And mimi ukinichagua, you know, under the Communist Party of Kenya, these are things that we are planning to change.
We've heard you. Dorcas, what do you think?
Okay, from my thinking is, not only have most of these MPs failed to educate people on the steps of creating these laws, but also our people don't understand roles of these leadership positions. So like if you're vying for an MP seat, what people expect you to tell them is, I'll build roads, I'll build schools, na nitawapea bursary. That is what people know. tasks za MP ni hiyo. So like if you look like at our constituency, our constituency is like 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
Na not even a single bill has ever been raised by our member of parliament.
Okay.
For the 10 years he has been in bunge. So what does that mean? Ata watu wa mtaa hakuna mwenye anajua anything
what this MP does.
Apart from people who are a bit aggressive waende waanze kujaribu kujisomea, people don't know that kwa bunge kazi ya MP mainly si kujenga barabara, si kufanya nini. Kazi ya MP mostly ni akwe part of the legislative department here, our government, because kuna wangana legislative, executive na judiciary. Like, so most of our people don't understand that, and it's cause the MPs wenyewe hata me at some point naonanganika umse ajui.
Okay.
Unaona, because for 10 years and considering our place vile iko, kuna some of the bills that can be sponsored to try to improve on lives za watu.
Okay.
But ye mwenyewe I don't think our people not know about that, but also pia I think pia hana clue of what being in parliament
so
is all about. So
what we are hearing from Dorcas is it's not only us as the electorate who don't understand the whole process, even some MPs who are elected don't understand exactly what they should be saying.
No, some of them are functional illiterates, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, so
is that why it's now a requirement that they have a degree, they be degree holders? Is that why that was introduced?
You know, personally, nimeenda shule kidogo
Okay.
I have a Bachelor of Science degree in Maths and Chemistry. UN. I have a Masters in Development Studies. I have an LLB, that is the law degree from the University of Nairobi. I recently graduated with an LLM from the University of Pretoria, right? But even with that, I oppose the idea that MPs must have degrees, right? Because it's not just saying that, you know, only the people with degrees can represent people, right? There are people who have the heart of the people and Ishikoyo community, you know, they engage with the people and they can represent them, you know, in parliament or wherever.
Yes.
There are people who might not have a degree, but amesoma pia, you know, maybe amekuwa pilot, amefanya accounts, amefanya, you know, a diploma in journalism and things like those. But now the literacy that we are talking about here is not that one of degrees. Because pia kuna watu wako na hizo degrees, but they can't think, you know. They're real functional illiterates. That's what we are calling them. So the thing is, it is a duty, and it's difficult to legislate this. So it is a duty of the people themselves to listen to the candidates who are coming to them. Ndio waambie sasa, no, you know, if you come and your agenda is pangeni line mapatie punch. Ama your agenda ni sisi ni Wakikuyu, sisi ni Wajaluo, or agenda ni piga suti. No, that really shows that that candidate is not qualified, you know. So it's up to the electorate themselves. And I think this year we will see a more, you know,
And
thank you.
Also on that, I think I need to say something. On matters of having a degree to qualify to, we need to also consider the kind. So do we need to lock them out? Going to school in Kenya right now is like a privilege to a few. Juzi kulikuwa na hii kitu inago online about ku study some of these courses. Ikasemekana sana vile mali imefika itakuwa shughuli ya dynasty peke yake. So you don't have to like have those. If you have them, well and good, but si lazima tukandamize watu that you need to have. Plus I think that thing was scrapped over. I don't think it's going to be operational.
No, it's still in court. There's an injunction, but the final judgment will come out in time.
All right. Touching on what you've said, because what I've gathered from what you have told our viewers is that the point where the electorate and voters come in is in public participation when laws are being made.
Correct.
Far as I know, Parliament puts out a notice kwa gazeti or online on their website, because their website is constantly updated. They put out a notice. No one really follows through.
Correct.
And I'd like to take an example of the Copyright Amendment Bill, because it's the most recent one that was in its second reading, and it was actually passed. So for that bill, members of the it's a network against piracy, creatives, because it's a bill that involves them. They came together, they put out a statement, and for them the position was, we don't support this section and this section and this section of the bill. Everything else is okay. You want to increase what we get from ringback tones, that's okay, but we are not agreeing with this other part. And they've been very vocal, constantly putting out statements and saying, we don't like this bill, we don't like this bill, remove this section, remove, do this and this. So how do we ensure that such an organized body, number one, it doesn't have to be an organized body that is going and opposing a bill. Even I as a citizen have a right to go and oppose it. So how do we get more people, and you as the MPs and as you're campaigning, how do you get more people to participate, to actually go when they've been called to go? How do you intend to change that? We can start with Dorcas.
Yeah, okay. For me, what I'm thinking here is to have various ways of disseminating the information, because if we say uneka kwa website, how many people have smartphones to access? Very few people, right? If you say you're putting it on newspapers, there are people who will consider, sasa mimi ndanunua newspaper 60 bob ama ndaenda kujishughulikia my daily bread, right? So if we have a way whereby information can be cycled to the people, right? Watu waweze kuipata on time, that during these and these dates, kama sahi, we'd have, let's say, like opinion leaders, right?
Yes.
Tuko na opinion leaders kwa our community. If there's something that needs to be reached to the people, we can use them.
Okay.
Right? Yes. We have, let's say, like heads of schools, we have chairmans of boards of schools, right? We have
Watu wa nyumba kumi.
Watu wa nyumba kumi. Unaona? So kufikia hata ule mtu mwenye hana access to any kind of easy information kwa websites and all that. So if we become more creative on how we disseminate information, it will even become a bit easier to communicate with your electorate, rather than just putting it on the newspaper and expecting people to just read them.
Yeah.
You see, not everyone will. Hata kwa mahali mimi nakaa, mwenye analitanga newspaper analitanga sita peke yake. So sita ni kumaanisha it's only 6 people who will buy.
Yeah.
Unaona?
Yes.
6 people who buy, maybe ape mtu mwingine. So haiwezi fikia constituency mzima, but if we have other ways ya kufanya information iteremke kwa ground, it becomes a bit easier. Hata watu wataweza ku appreciate some of these processes.
Washira, what do you think?
So you see, first of all, there must be a structured way of engaging the public. Now, as a representative of the people, as the member of parliament, or rather my plan, you know, as a candidate for Embakasi North, which I think maybe others can also borrow, is that we must have periodical meetings with the people that elected you. Remember, MP anafanya kazi siku ngapi? You know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know,
Monday,
our constituency, right? So we must have meetings so that people know that in Ward 1, every Friday from this time to this time, there is a meeting that we are holding with the MP. And the agenda can be delivered either the previous meeting or through other channels. So there must be a structured periodical engagement with the constituents. Secondly, the MP must encourage these constituents to come in. So sio kusema tu tuliteka notice sijui kwa social hall fulani mulikuja watu 10. No. Lazima wabembeleze. Go to those churches, make announcements and all that, no? Then for people like vijana, you know, most of them wako kwa Facebook na nini. You see, our constituency does not even have a Facebook page. So hata bursaries zikitoka nini kifanyika inakuanga ni rumor, you know.
Even the MP doesn't have a page.
It doesn't, you know. So now once you have a constituency, an official constituency Facebook page, maybe and Twitter handle and all that, then you can pass this information to people in general. Now, concerning the specifics of bills, once the notices come out, there are people who are interested in particular things on different levels. So utapata maybe a fisherman in Turkana is not really interested in the bill that you're talking about, but somebody like you is a journalist, somebody like an artist, a musician, those are people who are close to these things. So public participation means that these people who are stakeholders in what the bill is proposing must be heard. And it's not just about issuing statements. They must be invited to the National Assembly, if it is a bill that involves the Senate, to the Senate thereafter, so that they can now directly address you know, the parliamentarians, the respective committee on the issues that they want. Now, as I said, Bunge has been failing on this task.
Yes.
That's why most of these acts, hata hii juzi, political parties amendment bill, it might be declared unconstitutional because political parties, political players, political NGOs were never given a chance at the National Assembly to go and give their views. So this is not something that one MP can change. But if you're part of that parliament, then you have a responsibility to convince your colleagues to ensure that public participation is respected and the views of the people. It's not, it's your para exercise, You must listen to them, engage them, and include their views in the laws or the policies that you are making.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Viewers, we will go to your comments, but so far we have discussed the importance of an MP in Bunge and the importance of an MP being in touch with their constituents, because that's the primary work of an MP. And Anthony the teacher anasema leo mmeamua kunimalizia bundles na politics. Karibu sana Anthony, maliza tu zote because you're learning and you're getting empowered before you vote for your next MP. Anthony Ndianga is saying, I think that most people will not choose leaders of their choice. Parties are pushing people they think are best for them, not voters' taste. This will make many people to be more confused. And we can take our conversations from what Ndianga is saying. What is the involvement of a party? Now that you've both said that your inspiration and your motivations for going to parliament are based on what you've witnessed in your own constituencies, now come in your parties. And we'll be interested to hear from you, Wachira, the Communist Party. Why should that party be in the conversation right now? And we'd like to know, Dorcas, where you're vying with and why you chose that party. Tell us about the party and your roles. We can start with Dorcas.
Okay, I'm vying with UDA. Watu wa kazi ni kazi, sisi ni mahasla. Wenye tunaamini pia mtoto wa ule mama wako huko chini, tunaweza ungana na tuweke serikali. Like our DP says, hii serikali ya raundi inaenda kuundwa na watu huko chini. Akina mama mboga au watu wa boda boda. So for me, I'm vying with UDA because I align with the ideologies of the party. I believe in what the party stands for, to try and uplift those people who wameonekana kwa kama hawaezi. So like for me, the party I'm vying with, most likely I'm going to go against the incumbent. He's called James Gakuya. Na he's the MP coordinator wa UDA. So ukiangalia some of the dynamics zenye ziko kwa mahali kama hiyo chama yetu, utapata the way amesema that parties tend to push people wenye wako na nisemeje watu wa chama unaona other than the leaders. It is something that I have been told time and time again that Dorcas, sasa unaenda huko Ruto hawezi kupe certificate acheka kuya amesimama na yeye miaka nyingi, na mimi nimesema Mr. Ogopa, let me go because I believe in our party leader, the deputy president, and I believe he will do what is right. Mwenye atashinda kwa nominations ndio watapewa, because at the end of the day having a political party, okay, Nairobi kusema ukweli it's a bit easier being in a political party, not just being in a political party but ukwe kwa party yenye unaweza stand for, na at least you can defend some of the things or the ideologies za party yetu. So being a UDA member, I believe that this time round haitakuwa ati kufosiwa mtu tutenda nomination na ule mwenye atatoka whether it's the incumbent ama new hustler wa huku chini ndio watapewa. Like our party leader says, the nominations will be free and fair. Ule mwenye atashinda, so it won't be a matter of kupushiwa mtu mwenye hamtaki. So go out and vote. Usikae hapo useme ati huyu ashaibiwa. Hapana, go there, vote and make that difference. So mimi niko UDA, watu wa hustler.
A very big and growing party in this election, a closely watched one even. Wachira, your party is little known. Maybe you could give us a bit of a background. Do you have current MPs right now? Do you have governors? Do you have anyone in the electoral space?
Yes, before I respond to that, ningependa kuambia adi teacher. Ningependa kuambia adi teacher that ni vizuri ana engage kwa hii show na watch politics. Because politics pia ndio determine kama hiyo data bundle yake itakuwa affordable in the future, right? And if he votes in for the right people, then probably ataweza kufanya vitu mingi zaidi na hiyo internet yake, right? Now, concerning party politics, you know, we have 85 registered political parties in this country. 85.
Yes.
All these parties have various ideologies that are bringing about.
Yeah.
Part of this party, one of these parties is the Communist Party of Kenya.
Yeah.
Us, we are based on the communist socialist ideology. And what we say is that we must change the system. From this capitalist system ya mtu kunyonya mtu mwingine, watu kandamiza watu wengine, to a system where people are equal, more equal, people are more humane, and development reaches out to everyone on a more equal basis. Secondly, those people who work are the ones who should benefit more. And those people who can work must be given chances to get the work, right? So that is why I'm inviting the Communist Party, because I believe, one, Kenya is a very unequal society. We must reduce these inequalities. Failure to reduce these inequalities means that people wanaendelea kusuffer, especially in the Eastlands area, huko rural areas. And secondly, it also means that this country cannot stand. You know, ukiendelea kufanya hiyo inequality, crime and many other things will come in. You know, you will not be safe wherever you are. So it is only our ideology, which as I've said ni communism, ujamaa kwa Kiswahili, ambayo ita bridge hii gap ya inequality. Now, when I hear people saying that, or rather the question, the way it was asked, that the parties will elect or select people for them, it is true. That person is right, right? Kwa sababu hata wala jua ODM iko na wenyewe. Hiyo UDA iko na wenyewe. Sasa ukienda kwa chama imejaa wezi na wakora na nini, then una expect that utapata justice hapo, you know. And I wish you the very best. She's from them. I was also raised in phase 2 Dandora. But the truth is, we must tell people that there are options. They are not in a jail, right? The important thing is sell your ideology. Of course, hizi chama zingine ziko na pesa mingi, watu wameiba kwa serikali, they are coming to return this money, but we cannot lose hope with respect to change. Communist Party of Kenya has been there for some time. It used to be called SDP before. It has produced many people. It has produced, even Gilu used to be a presidential candidate sometime. Orengo was our presidential candidate sometime. Anyang' Nyong'o was the chairman of the political bureau. Mwandawiro Mganga, who is known in this country for fighting for human rights, democracy and socialism, you know, political detainee and all that, has been there. You know, Onyango Olo, the late, and many other people. Are in this party, have been in this party or are in this party because of this ideological shift that we need in this country. That hatuwezi kuwa na watu wachache ambao wana control the economy and everything else, na everybody else amewachwa huko chini. Now, if we have a party that comes and says that sisi ndio tunatetea wanyonge nini, what is the ideological basis for that? Secondly, you've been in government for over 20 years, right? As a minister, as a prime minister, others, as I don't know what, as a vice president, deputy president, you know, all these years you've been there. There are border people, there are mamambogas, you know, people don't have, is it 6,000 shillings per month? And you've never brought these things. So this is just a gimmick. They're trying to speak the language of the people by telling them hustler, by telling them 6,000 shillings every month, by telling them sijui afya gani hiyo. People should not accept to be cheated. Go and look at the history of the political party, and parties are important. If she's elected with UDA, she must follow the party line of UDA. That is the law. If she does not, she'll be kicked out and she'll have to vie again. So it is important that if you have the agenda of the people at heart, then look for a party whose ideology is the ideology of the people and the masses.
You've brought about a very, very key point in our discussion today, and that's what I want us to address ourselves to. That have been elected under the Jubilee Party. Does that mean every bill I take to Parliament must align with the Jubilee manifesto? Is that what normally happens? Is that what we should expect? Therefore, should we be keen that Dorcas is vying under UDA, Wachira is vying under Communist, and this is what the party stands for? Should the voters in this election be keen on what these parties are selling?
No,
Dorcas.
Okay.
So basically, I wouldn't say that much, because there are certain bills that are more aligned to parties.
Okay.
But there are also bills that are aligned more to the people, right? So if it is something that is helping the people, I don't see how an interference with the party will come in.
Okay.
But if it is something like, you see what happened in the Political Parties Amendment Bill, that was something that was directly affecting the political parties.
Yeah.
So you needed to align with your political party.
Yeah.
That's why you'd find people who are kind of, ilifika mahali mpaka wabunge wanapigana blow kwa parliament, right? Because that directly affects them, the political parties. But ukikuja kitu kama hizi za nini, there was this bill, like I was trying to look at about the disabled, right? Though haikuwa passed mpaka wa leo, yet it was introduced in 2021. You see, those are kind of things that I wouldn't say per se they will be party oriented, though kuna zile zenye ziko party oriented.
Okay, Wachira, what do you think?
Once you are elected under a political party, you must follow the party line. And that's why the current constitution gives us the space for independent candidates. So that if you don't want to follow party line, then vie as an independent and you will not be responsible to anybody else.
Okay.
Now, all bills that come to parliament come through the parties, you know. Ideally, if a party is organized properly like the Communist Party of Kenya, then if you have elected members in parliament, then there should be a parliamentary group. And this parliamentary group should meet before going to parliament, where now all the members come and give their views before eventually the bill is taken to parliament, right? So that must happen. And that's why you will be blamed for decisions that you take with your party, because you knew that that party did not have certain ideals. Secondly, lives of people are affected by the bills that parties move in these houses. I'll give you a good example. In 2020, in 2021, there was the finance bill. So you know these days Treasury Minister nakujanga anasoma estimates, then Parliament appropriate inapitisha through the Finance Act. Today the cost of living is very high, right? Life is unbearable. But it was Parliament which appropriated, approved this bill, which increased the cost of living in this country. It increased bei ya mafuta through taxes. It increased a lot of things. And you know, once umeongeza bei ya mafuta, oil, everything else goes up. Now, in 2020, the MPs from both sides, ODM, Jubilee, opposed the bill. Because they said, no, this time to COVID-19 and all this, it will be dangerous. You know, Uhuru called these people, Raila called these people. When they came to parliament, the bill was passed. Right? So the party that you decide to vie on, you must see whether its ideologies are aligned, because it is not a useless thing. Them, the MPs might not have wanted to pass that Finance Act, but they were given instructions for the party and they had to follow the party line. Of course, if it is the Communist Party, then we will still oppose it there. Whether we are 1 MPs or 100 MPs, we will still oppose it, because such rise in the cost of living of the people really brings people to more poverty. You know, more issues of mental health and all these other issues. You know, it's because of money and how people are living. So parties do matter. And unaambia watu huko nje mchague Communist Party. Kama wewe ni aspirant na unasema unatetea haki za wananchi wa kawaida, kuja tukupatie tikiti kwa Communist Party of Kenya, so that you can have the confidence to push for the people's agenda, either in the county assembly, in the national assembly, the senate, or in the county. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. At least now we are getting a clearer picture of what this role of an MP is. And because we've touched on the cost of living, I'd like my producer to play a clip where we also went into the street and we were seeking to find out from the people how do you feel about the cost of living? And this was actually after the lower food prices hashtag. So these are the views that we gathered from out there.
Vitu zimekuwa zikiongezeka. Umekuwa affected?
Yeah, very much.
Life imekuwa hard.
Vitu zimekuwa na bei kali sana. Alafu pesa hakuna. Uchumi iko gumu sana.
Tumekuwa affected, lakini tuna hope soon will be fine. Kutakuwa kupoa yani.
Kutoka corona ingie, vitu zimechange. Watu wamewachishwa job. Yani unapata mtu alikuwa anafanya Kenya Airways, sasa anafanya kwa soko. Unaona? Na hiyo ikuwa hobby yake na ikuwa job yake. Yani life imechange watu sana.
Yeah, even for small people when tunafanya biashara tudogo kama sisi. Yeah, we have been very much been affected, but tuna hope with time zitashuka ama vitu zitakuwa sawa. Yeah.
Vitu zimekuwa zikiongezeka. Umekuwa affected?
Yeah, very much.
Life imekuwa hard.
Vitu zimekuwa na bei kali sana. Alafu pesa hakuna. Uchumi iko gumu sana.
Tumekuwa affected, lakini tuna hope soon will be fine. Kutakuwa kupoa yani.
Kutoka corona ingie, vitu zimechange. Watu wamewachishwa job. Yani unapata mtu alikuwa anafanya Kenya Airways, sasa
So as you can hear from the people, and you've heard them also saying that vitu zimepanda, bei imepanda, kumekuwa kugumu after COVID, there's raising all these issues. I'd like to find out from the both of you, at a personal level, do you feel like the cost of living has gone drastically up over the past however long? You could tell us, do you feel like the cost of living has gone up?
Okay, yeah, the cost of living has gone up, that is true. And then, there's this thing that I was trying to study, and you'd see that someone was arguing, an economist, why are we talking about the economy and all that, yet VAT bado imebaki 16%, vitu kaa hizo. But ukijaribu kuona any kind of increase in fuel price, ni kumaanisha kama natoa mizigo zangu kwa shamba kupeleka kwa market, ni kumaanisha kama hiyo fuel ime increase, ataka nimevuna na pesa kidogo, by the time nafika kwa market hiyo ndio itakuwa imeshapanda, si ndio? So your stuff ya the fuel prices ndio ili bring about a lot of issues, especially with the basic commodities that tunaona leo. Things are not affordable. I can tell you for a fact that there are families that are even struggling to get one meal a day. I know of people who wake up in the morning waende tu kwa mtu. Unaona, nipe tu kitu kidogo ya because people are not able to afford these basic commodities. Then to make matters worse, the current government, and we are quite sad with what is happening. Unapata like kama kwa hiyo area yetu, sometimes back watu huko Kariobangi walibomolewa manyumba zao. Right? So unabomolea mtu nyumba, COVID ilikam, watu wakaachishwa job. Mtu kuachishwa job ni kumaanisha haezi afford at all. Cause Kenya si ile ati tuna mtu who earn do wenye unaweza save, si wengi. Not most of the people will save the money they earn. So tunapatanga ukitumia, unapata ukitumia. So people's houses were demolished. People lost jobs. Sindio? So unapata really it's quite unbearable currently. People are not even able to afford vitu very, very basic. So if at least we'd have, and this for me, I'd squarely blame it on the parliament. Okay. It's not about a blame game, but it's ni poa tukijaribu kuona kitu ilianzia wapi. Because if the parliament was keen enough, at least kujaribu kuona, okay, how can we create a law? Ama what can we do to have, let's say, like a reservoir, mali tunaweza weka oil, ndio in case hata sasa kushinda mna import ile yenye mnatumia. Unaona, ile yenye we can have a massive reservoir here in the country, yenye hata saa hii tungekuwa tunauzwa oil at a cheaper price. Kuna kwangana hii meme that goes around when the president was campaigning in 2017 and the fuel prices right now. Unaona vile zimeachana, imeachana na bei kubwa sana. So things are unbearable, and all these emanates from the chaos created by those in parliament right now.
All right.
Yeah.
Wachira, are you feeling the pinch yourself? And what do you think can be done to address
Yes, I'm feeling the pinch because I'm an ordinary Kenyan. Hata kama naomba kiti ya ubunge na hiyo wakili na nini, but I'm feeling the pinch, you know. You go with 1,000 to the supermarket today, you know, you buy one or two things, you know. You can't satisfy, you know, the needs that you used to satisfy before. Secondly, what these people are saying is true. The cost of living is going up. People life is becoming unbearable. But saa hii ukienda usimame kwa hii barabara hapa nje, utaona the number of V8 Prados and sijui which cars has also gone up.
Yeah.
Right? So what does that mean? That means, back to the equality question, the country is becoming more and more unequal.
Okay.
So whereas some of us are complaining that sijui 1,000 imeshindwa kununua vitu kwa supermarket, kuna mtu ameenda DTDobi akachukua, you know, gari mpya without, you know. And we need to change how the whole society works if we are to change this. Those people, they should know that, as I've said, there was Finance Act 2020, 2021 also. If your MP voted for that act, then you have a responsibility. Just punish him by telling him you're not going back to parliament, you know, and gamble with somebody else. When it comes to the prices of food, you know, there are 3 factors that dictate these things. One, as I said, there was the cost of oil and all that. 2, there is the cost of production. Of course, there the county governments, the executive itself has a big role to play. But also another big factor is middlemen, the brokers. Unapata anaenda anakandamiza mkulima huko Nyeri ama sijui wapi, na hii pande nyingine anakuja anakandamiza the worker in the city, you know, the person living in the city. So it is the role of parliament to work closely with the executive and also the county governments to see how we can get rid of these middlemen who benefit by doing nothing by the kazi yake tu ni kuleta vitu na kunini, yet the producer and the consumer are suffering out there. But to do that, we need to elect people who have such ideas. And I'm not saying that we will change these things in 1 or 2 or 10 years. But once these ideas start, watu wakianza kuziongea, you know, over time, you know, change will be brought.
Okay, as we come to the conclusion of our show, let me go back to the comments on Facebook. Ake Achieng says, nilivote 2017, haikunisaidia hata kidogo, sasa mbona ni vote tena, kura yangu nilichoma. That is what Ake has said. We are seeing also Marion Eva Chela amesema narudisha kabisa Mosili Mawadhe Embakasi South. Hivyo ndio amesema ya anarudisha MP wake. I've also seen a comment where someone amesema anarudisha Dagoretti South MP KJ. Yes, those are all our comments for now. As we close our show today, I'd like to give you an opportunity first to, of course, sell your bid. Talk to the people of Embakasi North because they are watching you. Tell them why they should vote for you. And you could add in your parting shot how we should hold you accountable. When we elect you to parliament, Dorcas, when we elect you to parliament, Wachira, how can we hold you accountable so that we make sure you do what we sent you there to do? We can start with Wachira.
Yes, now, first of all, kwa hiyo mwenye anasema atachoma kura, you know, when you are newly married, uko na bwana yako na uko na bibi yako hapo, muende pale kwa kitanda, mfanye maneno, mshindo kuzaa. Hamchomi hiyo kitanda. Mnarudi kwa hiyo kitanda next time. Eventually, after a few tries, mtapata mtoto. So nataka kumwambia asichome kura yake. Ajaribu tena in 2022, ikishindwa 2027, eventually mabadiliko yatakuja. That said, mimi, as I've said, naomba kura ya kiti ya ubunge Embakasi North constituency. That's where I was born, that I was raised, and in all my adult life, I've been fighting for human rights and social justice of the people. Not for myself, but for the people. Right from the time I was a student leader at the University of Nairobi, Sonu, After that, when we became activists in the streets of Nairobi, and even now as a lawyer, there are many cases that we and the Communist Party have taken to court in the interests of the people. So I have that track record, and I am promising you that if you elect me, I will bring the change that is required to transform your lives. Tutazidi campaign. I've been on the ground. Even after this show, I'm going back to the ground. Naomba tukiingia pale mkuje munisikize. Sikiza Dorcas, sikiza hata huyo Gakuya. Then eventually make a wise decision. Otherwise mimi naomba kura yenu kwa unyenyekevu. Jina ni Benedict Wandeto Wachira. Chama ni Communist Party of Kenya. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wachira. Yes, Dorcas.
Okay, so yangu itakuwa kwanza kuambia mavijana sana wenzangu. By the way, I'm 27 years old. At least isi nini hivyo. And reason as to why nimesema hivyo ni kwa sababu most of the youths wanadai hawataenda kuvote. Ni waste of time kupanga hiyo line. Lakini tukijua everything inafanyika kwa life yetu. By saa hii mtu mwenye haja feel pitch ya politics kwa maisha yake sijui, labda hata niseme ni dynasty juu kama ni watu huku chini mahasla na hivyo vyote, hiyo kitu tumeifeel kabisa. Tumekosa makazi, tumekosa food, unaona. Alafu kuna hii kitu yenye for me I chose to challenging the norm. Ati for kuvai as an MP lazima uende ground sijui na V8 ama Prado. Mutembea na muenda na bike juu hivyo ndio mimi niko. Na mimi sitajikataa hivyo. The same thing nataka kuchallenge mavijana hapo. Usione ni kama hauwezi fanya kitu. As long as you set it in your mind, nothing is impossible. Na sisi si leaders wa kesho. Si ni leaders wa leo. And me, I'm confident, by the way. I'm very confident. All withstanding, najua tutaweza kuenda kwa hii journey pamoja. So, mi ningewasihi kama mujita demo mtaa. Cause mi hiyo mtaa imenilea mpaka wa leo. Hata siasa yangu inakuanga ya mtaa. So, ndawasihi kama watu wa mtaa yetu, mniunge mkono. Yangu si kufanya kazi ati sijui kuweka sijui inatangaje ile show off ati muhesh. For my leadership track record, I've also been in student leadership for a very long time. I was in high school, Buruburu girls, head girl. Okay, but nikiwa head girl, I managed to secure a trophy thrice for my school. Kwa hizi national platform. Then nikaenda Masinde Muliro. I was the vice president and I finished off as the acting president. And during that time, there's one major thing that nilifanya mpaka wale I always feel proud of myself. There was this time kulikuwa na issue about women kukuwa not attended to kwa Kakamega Hospital. So one of our students, she's called Abigail, may her soul rest in peace, alienda na akakuwa not attended to. And during kukakuwa na birth complications and she passed on. So I remember taking up that matter. We pushed the county government. Hata kama it ended up into a demonstration because police now walianza kutuchapa for no good reason. But at the end of that, what happened is we had a wing that was separately established to cater for Masinde Muliro students. So at least that is one of the greatest achievements zenye musema as a leader. Not to show of anything ama nini, but I've always had my people at heart. Serving my people is always what I've always wanted. So kama sahi kwa mtaa, mimi nadai ku-uplift maisha ya mavijana, maisha ya kina mama, na maisha ya wazee. Because ukisikia wanasiasa wengi wanakujanga nilete vijana na wamama, lakini hakuna mtu atataja wazee. Yet they're still part and parcel of our community. So yangu ni kuwasihi mni-elect kama mtoto wenyu, manzi wa mtaa, at least tuweze kumove mtaa yetu. Na hii kitu ya kuondoa hii jina ya dando, ukitaja dando ama Kariobangi, the first thing that comes into people's mind ni crime, sijui nini. So hiyo ni kitu yenye nataka pia to change. Tunataka tulete investors kwa ground, lazima tutachange jina ya mtaa. Na hakuna mtu mwenye anaweza tuchange jina, ni sisi wenyewe tubadilishe, tuoneshe wase that kwa hii mtaa yetu pia kuna vitu za maana zinaweza toka. Unaona? People, hata pia watu wa Kenya mimi ndawaomba mpaka a lot of controversies that you've been in government for all this, but we all know what has been happening. Unaingia kwa serikali na mtu then anakutema for no good reason. Zile tasks zenye unafaa ukifanya anapea mtu mwingine, then at the end of the day unasikia ati huyu alinifanya sikufanya kazi, you know, such kind of thing. So mimi ndawaomba pia, let's back up Hustler Nation because it has the watu at heart, and that is what we want to do, to uplift wale watu wako huko chini kama mimi. Mimi ni mtu wa chini, eh?
Thank you so much, Dorcas. Thank you, Ashira. Thank you for making time and being here with us. Thank you for even educating our viewers out there. And from us here at Pulse, we continue to ask you, Kenyan youth, the young people of Kenya, this is the time for us to come out. As you can see, there are candidates ready who are speaking from a conviction, who know what they want to do when they get into parliament. And today I hope you've gathered at least one question you will ask an aspirant. Wakikujoka kwa ground, ask them about it, and know that also you are part of the process. You are part of the reason why we have to lower food prices and why the cost of living is high, because you elected an MP and they passed a bill and now it is affecting you. And that is why you should take charge, and that is why you should get involved. As always, we are inviting you to vote in the coming election, and we're inviting you to join us for our next show. I've been your host, Miriam Wende, and it has been a pleasure. See you next time. Bye.